Introducing the all-new Taurus G3C. The next generation G3C compact 9mm delivers the ultimate balance of power and performance for any self-defense situation.
Today we are going to be talking about a budget compact gun, and that is the Taurus G3C. This is a personal gun. It is in coyote, tan, whatever you want to call it. The vast majority of the Tauruses that I've seen are in black. In fact, when you go to the website, sometimes it has a tan lower with like a silver slide. Most of it is just black on black. So when I had the opportunity to get this, jumped all over it. I'm a big fan of the tan Taurus G3C. All right, so like I said, this is a budget gun. Ooh, that's warm. So this would be someone's entry-level gun. If you are buying your first gun, and a Glock is usually a good starter point. That's where we like to tell people to start. If that is a little above that price mark, but you're looking for something that's gonna work, that's gonna be able to put up with a little bit of abuse and be reliable, then the Taurus is it. I will talk about what I like, what I don't like, so on and so forth. But for a compact gun, like a little everyday carry, it is not bad. It was working great, doing bill drills out here, shooting some steel, having a blast. It did its job. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, well, what are you going to compare it to? Well, I always compare everything to a Glock, which is a little unfair. I can't really compare it to my everyday carry, just because that is like, to me, that'd be comparing a really nice sports car to a Daihatsu Charade. All right? I mean, it's not a high point. I mean, that's like a Yugo. But it is what it is. It is a inexpensive starter gun. I do see people buy these when they're first getting started into the world of firearms, and there's nothing wrong with it. It works. It's good. So let's talk about some of the features on it. This is, showing everyone, it is safety unloaded. This is a true double action. So we know that it's empty. So when you pull the trigger, there you go. Now, the gun has not cycled. However, when you go back to that trigger, it'll go again. It's a true double action semi-automatic, which means if you're practicing at home dry firing, this is fantastic versus the Glock, where everybody knows with the Glock, you're going to press out, hit it, cycle, hit it, cycle, hit it over and over and over, because a Glock is pretty much a single action semi-automatic. Granted, it's striker fired, but it acts like a single action semi. You pull the trigger, firing pin goes forward, and that's it. The gun didn't cycle. There's nothing to reset that striker. When it comes to the Taurus, it's a true double action, which is nice. So yeah, it does come with an accessory rail, so you can mount a flashlight, and that's all I'm going to say, because nobody mounts lasers to handguns. It should be a flashlight so you can get PID in dark conditions. The frame size obviously is compact. This one is chambered in 9mm Luger, and that was the only option I saw, though I know some other Tauruses can be in like 40 and 45. The barrel length itself is only 3.2 inches, so it's relatively short. I mean, it's compact, so getting that accuracy further back at like 25 yards, 50 yards. Starting to get a little wonky on that one, but for an everyday carry, something up close, 7 yards, 10 yards, 25 yards is fine. You just got to learn the elevation, where to aim it, so on and so forth. Point of aim, point of impact seems to be right around the 7 to 10 yard mark that I noticed for me. Excuse me. I'm just referring to the notes here. The overall length of this gun right here is 6 inches, and its height is about 5 inches tall. It does have on the magazine the little pinky extension. Without the pinky extension, my pinky does hang off. With the extension in, it fits just fine. You saw in the video, I was shooting with gloves on, so even with gloves, there was more than enough area for my hand to shoot. Overall, nice. Its width is only about 1 inch. It's incredibly slim compared to like my 320, which is my everyday carry, which is kind of a thick gun, and that's what 3Cs. All right. The overall weight unloaded is only 22 ounces, so it's incredibly light. Though unloaded, you definitely can feel that more of the weight is up front than in the back. Once it's loaded, it is actually pretty well balanced. All right, for all my Chads out there thinking about the Taurus and you want to know that twist rate, this one is a 1 in 10 right hand twist rate. So there you go, a little gun nerdiness for you. Usually we don't talk about twist rates because most people don't know and don't care. But for all you Chads out there, there you go, there's your twist rate. All right, the finish, I already talked about it. It's tan. The top is like a dark earth coyote, and the bottom is tan. All right, let's talk about the safety features on this firearm right here. So first and foremost, it does have a manual safety right there. So with it on, trigger won't work. Off, trigger works just fine. All right. It has a striker blocker. It also has, I don't know if you can see it, get it nice and close, a little trigger safety. It's got a blade safety on that trigger, just like Glocks. A lot of firearms have those today. Works just fine. Now, speaking of the manual safety, while doing some research on this, there was a Reddit post where people were talking about the manual safety and how if it's, they said it was clickbaity because it's like, the Glock G3C can still fire with the manual safety on. And I was like, oh, that's not good. That's no bueno. Once you read the whole thing, yeah, clickbait. So what they were talking about is if because right now you can see it's off. If the manual safety is, well, see now it's all the way on. Let's see if I can position it. If it's not all the way on, if it is somewhere in the middle, which is hard to do because it wants to click on and wants to click off. There's no kind of in between. All right, so right now it's sort of in between. All right, and when you aim it and pull, oh, didn't work there. Let me move down a little. Oh, clicked right off. Slightly on, just below, and it worked there. And you can see I still had to do a little traveling down. Listen, it's clickbait. Don't listen to them. When it's on, it won't fire. When it's off, it fires. It's that simple. Now, granted, it's mechanical and all mechanical things can fail. So always be mindful when using that manual safety, which everybody already knows. I am not a fan of manual safeties when it comes to everyday carries. All right, I don't have this for an everyday carry. I have this more of a home defense, having fun at the range, getting some practice in. Now we're at the point everybody loves. We are gonna ghost the trigger. Mag is coming out. You can see it's got a nice yellow follower. Good to go. Chamber is empty. All right, so you can see right in the beginning, very squishy. All right, all the way. That's a lot of traveling. Now you're on the wall. Clean brake. Reset. Is really hard to feel. There we go. So the trigger itself is only like 6 pounds, but that reset is really far up there. I'm used to the gun coming back when you hit that wall, and that you break the wall, and that trigger reset is just right there. The trigger does not want to push your finger forward to the wall. It's not forcing you to reset it. I've noticed with like my Glock, my 320, I relax the finger to do a flip and press, and the trigger definitely shoves my finger forward. I can feel that reset, and I bring it right back to the wall. With this one, it's very hard to feel it. Even when I relax my finger, the trigger really doesn't want to go anywhere. So again, it's probably just a thing that Taurus has with the triggers. They're not the best triggers on earth. Some people say that about the Glock or the SIGs and all that, and they do trigger jobs and get their trigger swapped up for something like a Geisley trigger or one of the other manufacturers that are out there. Now, I wanted to talk about some of the cons, since I told you all the specs on it and some of the nice things on it. Some of the cons. First and foremost, obviously, it's got a manual safety. Not a big fan of that. Other than that being said, the stippling on the grip is very nice. It is definitely aggressive. It does have little finger groove areas for your thumbs. I don't particularly like this one. I do like the gas pedal area. I wish it was stippled, so when I get my thumb in there, it's pretty nice. I don't like this one because my thumb is not riding this low. You can see on this side, it doesn't ride that low, and there's that one for up front. I tend to, with firearms that have a manual safety, is when I take that safety off, I literally, I get a better view of it. When I take that safety off, I'm riding on top of it. I am actively holding it down, even though I know I don't have to. I don't like when, I've seen it happen, people are shooting, they get underneath, and as the firearm recoils, they click it back on. And then all of a sudden, the trigger won't work. All right, and in the middle of a self-defense situation, you're not thinking logically because your world is literally crumbling around you. That can put you in a bad place real quick. So that's my feelings on it, and that's why I prefer Glocks and SIGs, things that don't have that manual safety. Some people love them. I don't. Now let's talk about the breaking down. The breaking down of the gun is, well, it's reminiscent of a Glock. It is actually fairly easy. First and foremost, it's going to tell you in the instruction manual is you pull the magazine out. You're going to inspect your chamber. Nothing's in it. All right. Tells you to put your thumb there, 4 on top. Pull back. It actually gives you like 1/8 of an inch, but you're going to pull those down. All right. Pull the trigger, and it comes right off. Now, getting it back on can be a little finicky, so you're going to line it up. And when it comes to the back, you have to kind of jimmy it on a little. There you go. Back on, no problem. All right. It's very Glock-like, which most manufacturers are going to. They're either going to the standard way that Glocks break down with those, or it's got the little breakdown lever like a SIG. All right, I want to take a second to talk about the sights. The sights are not bad, though you might have to get used to them. They take a little practice. The back or the rear sight is just black, and then of course the front sight, you've got that nice clear ball, so all you're doing is packing the ball into that, to the bottom of the window that you're looking through, and there you go. Not bad at all. I've seen worse, but I've seen way better. So with something like this, it does have a fixed front post. One of the first upgrades you might want to think about doing is probably just putting night sights on here. I did not look to see if they're available online, but come on, they must have them online. So you're getting something like this Taurus G3C, by all means, you should consider upgrading those sights to night sights right out the gate. All right, unless you can find one that comes with them already. It's probably going to be used though. Since this is a Connecticut compliant gun, the magazine only holds 10. But it's not that bad because the overall gun itself is designed to hold 12. So the magazine is designed to hold 12. So you can hold 12 plus 1 in the chamber. Obviously we're in Connecticut. You can hold 10 and then 1 in the chamber, which is giving you a total of 11. So if the standard capacity for this, it was designed for 12, in Connecticut you're carrying 11. So call that -1. There you go. Not too bad. It's pretty good. It's not as bad something as like a Glock 19, Glock 17, P320, or a 226, where standard capacity ranges from 15 to 17 rounds, and we're prematurely capped at 10. But the law is the law, so not bad for what it is. If you're in the market for your first handgun, or you're just looking for a fun little plinker, and you don't want to spend a ton of money, might I suggest the Taurus G3C. They are fun little handguns. If you're going to carry it for everyday carry, good on you. You rock that. However, I would suggest you put that time in and practice that manual safety on and off. So when you draw, you're presenting with it off. Okay? As soon as the muzzle is clear, it should be coming off. Punch forward and drive it and fire it. Again, I tend to hold that manual safety down to ensure I don't inadvertently click it back up, because I see it all the time when we teach pistol classes. The firearms that have the manual safeties, like our Smith & Wesson Victories, people are shooting, they're having fun, all of a sudden it stops working, and they're like, what's wrong with the gun? Did I break it? First thing I check, manual safety. I'm like, nope, safety's on. And then I explain again, you've got to ride the safety, hold it down. And they always ask, well, does it automatically pop up? I'm like, no, when you're shooting, you're popping up because you're not gripping the firearm tight enough. It happens. It's a learning curve. But Taurus G3C, we don't have any in stock as of now, but swing in, you never know, we might have one in the case, or a few in the case. I know when I bought this one, there were 3 in the case, 2 were black, and this was the only tan one. And well, I'm lucky because I happen to work here, and as soon as it hit the case, I was able to jump all over that. So all right, that's enough for the video for today. Please give it a like, share, hit up those comments, let's discuss things. Always, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, help it grow. Come to the range, get your practice in. All right, you need to practice. If you're not practicing, you're not gonna be able to hit what you need to hit. That being said, now is the season for training. It's warm out, the sun's out, clear skies, everything's green. It is not a cold, dreary New England winter. Therefore, all of the training groups that are in our local area, whether it be Black Sheep, Valkyrie, Tom's Defense, Patriot Performance, there's a litany of them. They're all holding classes. A lot of them are holding classes here on a weekly basis. So if you've never taken a self-defense course, or you have taken a basic one and you're trying to move up, they got carbine, they got shotgun, handgun, everything you can think of, they've got it. Track them down, look at their events page, look at what they're offering, and by all means, sign up for a defense class. I'd love to tell you to take one of ours. We had one of our first pistol defense class of the year, and it filled up in a day. So we made another one a couple of weeks later. That filled up in a day and a half. So as soon as we put the email out that, hey, we've got our pistol defense class. We're signing people up now. Filled. I was like, okay, well, that was pretty quick. So hopefully we'll schedule some more throughout the year, throughout the summer, into the fall, so you too can come to the range and get that training in. All right, that's enough. I got to go clean everything up now. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great time. See you on the range. I'm going to let you guys in on a dirty little secret. While filming these videos, I have to load magazines over and over and over. That kills my thumbs, and if I'm wearing gloves for protection, it's really hard to do that. And you can do it, but you start to wear that thumb out, which I've done before. So how do I do it? Little mag loader. These are great. If you don't have a mag loader, you really should get one. We sell them up in our gun store. They're actually a really hot ticket. If you're coming to the range and you're gonna be loading a lot of mags, you're gonna want this. And if you ever have trouble getting those last 1 or 2 rounds into those mags, because in Connecticut they're blocked and pinned, this totally helps you out.